Premanam Sankirtan Yagi Ki Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Vedi Subhadramaya Ki Shri Gauranitai Ki Shri Prabhupada Ki Shri Gaur Govinda Swami Shri Gurudev Ki Holiness Party Krishna Swami Shri Gurudev Ki Shri Gurudev Ki Jai Gaur Premanande. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Mate Murali Krishna Swami Dinamine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Mate Murali Krishna Vishnu Padaya
Chaitanya ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Jagannath Baladev Lady Subhadra Devi's ki, Srila Gurudev Srila Prabhupada Samaveda Bhakta Brinda ki. I hope I got everybody ki. Hare Krishna. I hope I didn't miss anybody ki. Vaishnavas past, present and future ki. We need all the mercy we can get. Sanatan, you look like you're ready for Siberia. What would happen to him if he went to Siberia? He'd probably die. He'd come back a new man after that. Then he'll understand Tapo Divyam. Hare Krishna. Welcome. How's everyone doing? Are you surviving? Are you surviving? These classes are like little heavy, aren't they? I'm scared. Hare Krishna. But it's also a war. We're in a war. There's danger at every step, means a war. When you join the military, they got to get you ready from being just a normal person to going on front lines to fight, isn't it? So you don't need the happy talks, right? Arjuna said, let's stop the friendly talks. Now I need some serious information. How am I going to overcome all of these difficulties, all of these challenges, obstacles, threats? How to get free from all suffering, anxiety. Do you have, you want to translate, or how many people need Hindi? You all speak English? 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 Yeah? English? Yeah. English? English? I'm sorry, it's English. It's the only one I know. And I'm from America, which is even, they speak really bad English. It's like, like the low-class English. So it's already low class. When I came to Bhubaneswar, the Gurudev was saying this, he was reading an English translation, he said, this English language, such a nasty language, you know? Such a low class. And I was like, that's my language. So we're attached to the body, to the bodily, where we're born, to the family, to our language, to our culture. Very much attached. And then it's difficult for you because this is your culture, right? It's supposed to be your religion. And then you have to sit there and listen to this guy who speaks bad English talk about tattva vichar and shuddha sattva, transcendental topics. It's not easy. If you're on bodily platform, you'll be like, why do we have to listen to this guy? What does America know about culture? Their culture is like English culture, pose like you're very cultured people, and then destroy everything and everybody. And steal everything, like pirates on the open sea. Right? So British Empire, they were known for their navy. And they just went from port to port, selling and buying whatever, killing whoever, buying whatever ports they have to buy, and then just deciding, okay, which countries have which natural resources that we don't have, so let's go target them. We'll make them hate each other, then they'll be weakened, divide and conquer, then we'll come in with the military, navy, we'll threaten them, we'll pay them off. Whoever will agree to our plan, we'll give them money, give them some position, then let them control these people. Isn't it? They do the same exact thing for thousands of years. It's a sad truth of the matter. So this is not even human behavior. It's not gentlemanly behavior. It's demoniac, atheistic, demoniac behavior. Divide, conquer, slaughter, kill, steal. What does this have to do with Christianity, with so-called Judeo-Christian teachings? They're just labeling it, right? Whatever nonsense is going on, they take a photo shot, oh, he's in the church, oh, he's in the temple, right? He's a holy person, he believes in God. So whatever he's doing, whoever he's conquering, fighting, automatically it's pious, automatically it's religious. And then they use the media, who to get the high position, who's the most pious, who's the most religious, who's the most demoniac, less than human, right? When you read all the original writings when they invaded India, the people who first came, they said these people are uneducated, they're like almost like cavemen, right? They have no culture. They must have went to some like degraded village somewhere, right? And they just said, okay, since this village is so degraded, all of India must be like that, right? So even if they saw something, right? Did you see Vedic culture? Did you know what is Rajarshi? Right? Do you know all of the history? They don't know anything. So they have to say, oh, they're uneducated, they don't believe in God, right? They're worshipping cows, right? They're worshipping idols, right? They don't understand how Krishna is coming in the form of the deity in order that we can see him and worship him and offer bhoga and offer our prayers, right? They said, no, they're just worshipping some brass idols. Right? They saw it's some kind of stone from, where is it, Rajasthan? Or Italy is marble. Is that marble from Italy or Rajasthan? So this is what they can see. So we're living in a very dangerous place, and Prabhupada said the problem is that you have no idea how dangerous it is. You have no fear from Maya. You're embracing Maya. Yes, Maya is my friend. I love Maya. You don't understand how dangerous it is. What reaction we're going to get, we're getting. We can't even perceive the reactions we're already getting. And that's why we're just marching forward with whatever our concoction, plans, desires, attachments, all of this type of thing. So just some flattering words, and just not trying to disturb anybody's sentiment, anybody's false ego, not challenge anybody's worldview or spiritual view. Just be like politician, right? They promise everybody everything. Are you a politician? You. Are you a politician? You are a politician.
Yes.
Where are you a politician?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. He's part of the globalist politician. He's bringing Indian politics globally. Subtle platform, gross platform, not spiritual platform. So his answer is very clever though, right? So that shows he's a politician. So it takes one to know one, right? So what's your question? What's your problem, man? What do you want to know? What do you think I can tell you? Anything? You guys know everything, right? Why don't you sit here and talk? Why do I have to sit here and talk? Huh? You want to sit here and talk? Let's hear your philosophy. How about you? You want to talk? You want to sit here? Are you sure?
Sure.
Mataji? Mataji? Or you want me to take all the bullets and all the arrows, huh? Okay. For you guys, I'll do that. We'll take all the arrows, all the bullets. So, what do you want to hear about tonight? What's our topic? Are you guys happy yet? We were talking about demoniac qualities yesterday. How can you not be happy? Right? Like, shouldn't a demon be happy, like, talking about their own qualities? And I'm quoting Shastra? Come on, it's absolute. It's not even my opinion. It's Krishna's opinion. So, demons are doing what demons do, right? So, we want to be demon or devotee? That's the question. What happened to our mommy daddy boy?
He's with mommy daddy.
Huh?
He's with my mommy daddy.
What happened?
His parents had came, so he's with them in Mayapur only. Oh. Somewhere in hotel.
In the hotel. Is he tied up? His mommy daddy got him, you know? He's on the ground somewhere, you know, in the hotel room. We love you! We love you! We love you! Don't you know how much we love you? So there's like a competition for the soul going on here, isn't it? There's a Kurukshetra. And I told him, you're talking like little baby, right? Mommy, daddy. I'm like, how old are you? You got gray hair, man. You're talking mommy, daddy. Your hair's not gray yet, so you can say mother, father. That's why he wears a hood. He's hiding it. Old man saying mommy, daddy, it looks like the guy, you should lock him up somewhere. Right? He's like an antisocial. Mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy. Like which company he's going to work in, you know? Is he there? Is that him? I'd rather tell him right to his face. That would be more fun. But we saw that coming, didn't we? And I said, once you decide whether you want to serve in Guru Krishna's family or in Maya's family, that's the test. Which family do you want to serve? Do you want your soul to serve in Krishna's family? Or do you want your body to serve in Maya's family? That's what this material experience, it's all about that. Are we going to be on soul platform? Sanatan Dharma? Or we're going to go into man-made Dharma? So-called Dharma. That's all we're trying to figure out here, isn't it? These guys, they look like gangsters coming in. I hope you have some metal detector or something. They could be terrorists, man. I don't know. Move up a little bit. Don't be afraid. You can stay there. You're cool right there. I get my eye right on you, man. No problem. I'm so rude, you know, like new people come, I'm calling them gangsters, terrorists. It's very outrageous, you know. It's not a great way to make friends, you know what I mean? But they keep coming back, so I don't know why. I'm always surprised, like when I come and the next day everyone's here. I thought like what I said yesterday was enough to finish you off for life. You'll need a psychologist after that. So he's like, don't be brainwashed, man, you know? He's like going from one cult to another cult, you know? Don't be a yes man. Yes, sir. Sir, 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 sir. I had that one devotee in Bhubaneswar. I never heard a man say sir so many times in one sentence in my life. I didn't even know you could put sir like back to back. I thought like maybe use it like once in a sentence. I never heard the sentence where every word in the sentence was sir. Sir, sir, sir. I thought he had like a speech impediment, you know? Like he had like a little crazy, like triple talking. Sir, sir, sir. And it was like, Krishna, please. Bless him, you know? He's a troubled lad, you know? Then I realized he's talking to me. I'm like, I'm not your sir. I'm not your sir. Then I was like, what do you want, man? Nobody calls you sir 20 times in a sentence unless they want something, right? I prepared for this class, actually. I was all day, I was just thinking what I'm going to say. And this is exactly what I'm giving you. Oh, I always get in trouble. That's the problem. Sanatana, I'm just buying time for you guys. I'm just trying to let you get into the atmosphere, right? Get your feet on the ground, head in the room, and then we'll have some nice discussion, right? So who has a nice question for us? Anybody? I'm a troublemaker. It's kind of more fun, isn't it? For the first few years, I was like very nice boy, and I was whatever the authorities said. I just followed everything. And then I started to figure things out. Then I was becoming more and more rebellious, more and more defiant, more and more questions, doubts. That's how I ended up like this. Iga, what are we talking about? Yes? Pitamba. Pitambaro. That's Pitambaro. He wanted to be the temple president. He thought that was like, you know, the summum bonum of life, man. If I can just be the temple president. So we gave him the post, and now every day he's coming to my room begging me to get out of that post. Maharaja, I tried it. I did the best I could. These guys are incorrigible. I got the point. I got my realization. I want out. I said, no. You wanted it? Go for it, man. See what it is, right? Okay, what is it? You're gonna help me out, man. We're gonna make this spiritual somehow. You think I'm like a Sanskrit scholar? Is that what you were expecting? Sanatan, is that what your Gunda friends were expecting? Please tell them in the local language, I'm only joking. We don't need trouble here tonight, you know what I mean? This is not a divide and conquer program here. This is a cultural presentation. Pitamba, please help me.
Hare Krishna, Sri Gurudev. Gurudev, I want to know what is more important, Guru or Krishna?
Oh my God. How would you answer that question? From a political point of view. Let's see, we gotta hear from him, man. I gotta hear this one.
So,
Who's more important, the Krishna or the Guru?
Krishna will provide you the Guru.
Krishna's?
Krishna, if you want Krishna, Krishna will provide you the Guru.
Oh,
Yes.
acha.
And he will show you a path through the help of the Guru to reach towards him.
So if you want Krishna, Krishna will send you a nice Guru?
Yes, he can.
Is that right?
Yes.
So, who's your Guru?
I don't know.
That's an honest answer. There's hope for the politician, man. There's hope. He's an honest politician. That's rare. This was like a moment of honor, you know, like he was trying to be, but really, this is the thing. In India, everyone really devotee. But you can't show that. You know, so you have to just, you know, be cool, be tough. Right? You can't show like you're soft-hearted and you have love and affection for humanity, and that would be not cool, you know what I mean? He's sitting there like, what is this guy talking about? But this is a very, very good point, because we're in material consciousness, so we cannot properly hear Krishna, because Krishna is on spiritual, transcendental platform, on soul platform, super soul platform, Paramatma, Chetu Guru, Antaryami. Krishna says, I'm the super soul within the heart of every living entity. Our soul, our self, we're also situated there, Atma. But we can't hear Krishna. This is the problem. One person wrote me a letter recently, and he was saying, I'm praying like anything, asking Krishna what I should do. And still, I don't know. I'm not getting any answer. Now, it says that if you really want to surrender to Krishna, then Krishna is the witness and the judge. When he sees this soul's looking for me, wants to understand me, wants to serve me, wants to surrender to me, then Krishna says, I'll give you intelligence how to do it. So that intelligence comes from Krishna within the heart, and he'll give intelligence and faith who we should listen to. Everyone's going to try, everyone in the material world, everyone wants to be heard, isn't it? Everybody thinks they know something. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants to be understood. Everyone has something to say. Everybody has an opinion. So there's no shortage of that. So now it's just a question of who and what information is worthy to really listen to. Because most people are just talking some nonsense. But when you want to talk about really seriously transcendental topic, that's not like a speculation, like what what do you think God is? Are you God? Am I God? That's not serious. If we really want to know, and we're very extremely inquisitive, then Krishna, well, no, this person's really trying to understand about the spiritual life. Right? We didn't know anything about Vedic culture and Krishna and all of this. We didn't know Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. We never even heard of these things. The first time we read Bhagavad Gita, I don't understand, 8 or 9 out of 10 words. Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra, Paramatma. I'm like, I have no idea what any of that means. But I just try to read over the words because I didn't know what the words meant. And many devotees had the same experience. But we're just, there's so much honor, respect for this book. It's been around for 5,000 years. Many great personalities, Gandhi, many authors, many famous even American transcendentalist authors, they're all mentioning Bhagavad Gita. So there's enough powerful people, impressive people, intellectual people that are mentioning Bhagavad Gita and how this is the Hindu Bible. So we just approached it like, okay, what's in that book? Is this God? So all we could go on was the intelligence and faith as we're trying to understand that Bhagavad Gita. Is Krishna in the heart gave us intelligence and faith to understand that the Lord within the heart is the same exact personality who is speaking Bhagavad Gita. That intelligence and faith came directly from Krishna. Because if we're simple enough, we're sincere enough, we're curious enough to know what is the truth, and how is God working in our life, and can we know Him, and can He help us? That first mercy comes from Krishna. So to try to understand Guru is secondary. First mercy is Krishna's mercy. Because without Krishna's mercy, without His merciful intelligence and faith, and without Him qualifying us, we cannot understand any other thing. We can't even understand our own soul without Krishna. So first thing is, how serious are we to understand about God, to understand about Krishna, to want to surrender, to want to serve Him? Krishna is measuring that as the Lord within the heart. And so if you're sincerely, seriously seeking Him, He'll lead you somehow or other. Right? Wasn't Prabhupada saying the other day, anyone who's really serious about spiritual life, they'll come to India. Even Jesus Christ came to India. Did you know that? You learn something new every day, man. So end of the day, we came to India. Right? We came to Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, to try to understand what is this book. Recently, some Christians, born-again Christians, they're trying to challenge me and arguing with me. Sometimes I like good fight, But I'm also trying to understand, what is their mentality? What is their way of preaching? What is the depth of their knowledge and realization? how potent is it? How convincing is it? How logical is it? How attractive is it? So I'm just looking at it like almost like from pure, kind of like a scientific point of view. And it's so fanatical and militant and insane that it's not matured, intellectual, thoughtful, deep, soul-level type of realization and explanation. They're like literally beating you with the shlokas, with the Bible. Like if they were in front of you, they would be taking the Bible and like hitting you over the head, like physically. This is why you should accept it, you know? And then I said, I wrote to this person who was writing to me, and I said, thank you for reminding me why I left Christianity. This is exactly why I left. You just basically reminded me of how dissatisfied I was with this type of mentality of people who are not even intelligent or open-minded enough to try to understand what is what. And then no matter what question you're asking them, they don't understand it, and they cannot answer it. So how are you going to be satisfied? Just believe it. Just believe it. It says in the Bible. And then I just say, which translation? And they get like very upset. Who translated that Bible? Doubt. They have like some doubt. So it was like a painful kind of experience. I'm just sharing my recent experience of dealing with so-called religious, spiritual-minded persons. And it's the same. It's the same exact dynamic. Not sufficient knowledge and realization. Any bona fide question or doubt is seen as a threat. You just follow the authorities, whoever they are, because they're the authorities. And they'll show you this book, and you're going to follow that. You don't surrender to Jesus, you're a demon. You're basically a demon. So then I started saying, well, there's unlimited living entities on unlimited planets within unlimited universes for eternity. So God only sent this one guy? Does that make any sense at all? Like God is so desperate that for the unlimited living entities and the unlimited planets and the unlimited universes, he could only find one person who could try to speak the truth. And if nobody heard from him, and you've not accepted him as your savior, then you're going to rot in hell eternally. Does that make sense to you, my friend? It didn't make sense to me. And then I said to him, I said, if Jesus speaks the truth, and we accept whatever truth that he speaks, is that not the follower of Jesus? No, you have to accept him as your Lord and your Savior. And I said, but I'm accepting his truth as absolute, and I absolutely accept him and the truth that he's speaking. So am I not a follower of Jesus? So they have no answer. And then I'm explaining all of this thing about the universes, everything from Srimad Bhagavatam and the Vedic culture and astronomy and right. This and no, this none of this is true. This is all just like a nonsense. You said this is just non-biblical nonsense. So you just dismiss the planets, dismiss the universes, dismiss eternity, dismiss that God can empower and authorize unlimited living entities to preach unlimitedly and eternally. What faith in God do you really have? And out of unlimited living entities to eternity, if somehow or other you didn't accept Jesus as your guru, you're going to all go to hell, Tataloka, eternally? Does that make any sense? So every time I started talking about absolute truth, he was getting very confused because he was not thinking I'm a follower of Jesus. So how you can be speaking all of this truth? And I said, well, God is in everyone's heart. He's giving us intelligence and faith. So if you really sincerely want to understand the absolute truth, then He'll give you that intelligence and faith. And they cannot understand it. They just want to argue. Nothing attractive, nothing persuasive, no conclusion. And I said, anyway, Christianity, it was a good stepping stone to realize that I need to go somewhere else to get the answers. So it was useful. Right? So sometimes we say, now I know what I don't want. Now I know what doesn't work. That's also required. Now we know, okay, that didn't satisfy. So now you just keep seeking until Krishna satisfies your answer. So first mercy is Krishna. And then when we read the Bhagavad Gita and Krishna convinces that He's God, the Bhagavan, then it's okay, you have to give up meat and all of this other type of sinful activities. He just got out of the chair, went in the refrigerator, took all the meat, put it in a bag, went down to the trash, threw it in the trash. So how do you automatically do that unless Krishna gives you intelligence and faith and strength to understand that this is not an option. This is now your instruction. And you have to follow it. So if you just keep following like that, eventually He'll give you good association of like-minded people. So when I started to understand Bhagavad Gita, then I said, this book is for serious people. This is not for it's not a playing. This book is not for people playing around. This is for like the real deal. Isn't it? Then I said, well, is there anybody on this planet that really is looking for that? And then we heard about Srila Prabhupada. Then we understand, okay, here's Prema Bhakta, here's Shuddha Bhakta. There's real devotee, real Vaishnava. So that's desire to become like that. And to get mercy from Krishna. And the first installment of Krishna's mercy, as you mentioned so nicely, that He'll send you a guru. And then Prabhupada said, combine the mercy, Krishna and the Guru, and Shastra and Scripture. That combination is how we will get purified and we will get all of this misconception, disinformation cleared out of our speculative minds, and then we'll get the proper faith by that experience and receive a transcendental knowledge, which is scientific knowledge, not based on some speculative arguments. And that will convince you further. In this way, we're going. So, bona fide Guru is external manifestation of Krishna. So your question is this or that. What if it's Krishna manifesting? Sakshat Dharitpe Nastamasta Shastra. Krishna assumes a body. That's Guru Tattva. So, Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Simultaneously one and different. So when Krishna wants to speak to us, he assumes the body of the spiritual master, and the bona fide spiritual master is pure via medium of Krishna. He's not speaking his own opinion, his own speculation, his own idea, his own feeling. He's just what Krishna wants to say. Then it's as it is. Prabhupada says, as it is. Nothing added, nothing subtracted. So combined mercy, but at the same time, two personalities, but combined mercy, right? So bona fide Guru is a mercy incarnation of Krishna, and the sound vibration, Shabda Brahma, is also non-different from Krishna. So Krishna is appearing in sound. When you present the absolute truth from Krishna, according to Guru Sarana Shastra, it's non-different from Krishna. So these are very subtle tattvas, simultaneously one but different. Do you know that? Achintya Beda Beda Tattva? That's a new one, right? You're going to impress your friends with that one, man. Hey, you guys hear about Achintya Beda Beda Tattva?
They are not impressed, they are jealous actually.
They're not what?
They're not impressed, they're jealous actually.
Acha, they're jealous. Then slap them. Slap them.
Already
Slap them.
Already did.
You already did? Did you knock any sense into these people? No. You need like a stick. You need new friends, really. I mean, let's be honest. You know, you need people who understand you. And then if you're saying something, you need people, you know, who can speak the same language.
I don't have friends.
Huh?
I don't have friends.
That's why you're here. We're your new friends. Isn't that great when you meet like new friends? It's like such a happy time because our soul is looking for those type of friends. This is the, you know, birds of the same feather, they're flocking together. They have a like-mindedness. So when you pray to Krishna and say, Krishna, who are my friends? Who are those? Because we're made to be social. It says no man is like a rock. We're not an island, right? We're made to be social. Now, how long we'll be in the wrong circles talking the wrong nonsense? It's not going to, after some time, it's going to get old. And it's going to get nonsensical. And it's going to become, we're going to realize how dangerous it is. Because it's a how do you call it?
Destructive. Self-destructive.
Self-destruction, exactly. Self-sabotage, self-destructing, spiritual suicide, right? So once you know that and you're trying to hang around with these people, you don't quite see them exactly the same way. And then when you try to say something, they're like, you know, we don't want to hear this. You're crazy. We don't talk about that here. So even in spiritual circles, there's all kinds of speculation and different types of association, even in a temple, even in spiritual organization. It's just like another society. It may be a little bit more focused on an external point of view, but it's still within that. There are different qualities of people and who have different levels of consciousness and different levels of understanding and different even human qualities, what to speak of spiritual qualities. Their level of discussion is something more and more subtle, more and more spiritually meaningful, which is like a food for the soul. So I remember when I got Srimad Bhagavatam, I really felt this was food for my soul. I read so many different books, I studied, I tried to understand the Bible. I never really could Christian Bible, I never understood the Bible. Once I read the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then I went back to read the Bible. And all of a sudden I could understand what is the Bible saying. Isn't it? I said, wow. That's why when these people chastising me, for not being Christian and not accepting the Bible, I'm telling them when I was supposedly a Christian, I couldn't follow what Jesus was saying, and I couldn't understand the Bible. So if this makes me a better follower of Jesus, and I can now understand better the Bible, then what's your problem? Right? What's their problem? And I tell them right to their face, you want to be reasonable and you want to have an adult conversation and you want to discuss something in a serious way, okay, let's discuss it. If you're going to come in some kind of another attitude and mood and, I have no time for that. We have limited time. Instead of having tens of thousands of friends, we should try to have just some real friends. Sometimes isn't there like a saying, like you can count your real friends, like on one hand? And even that's debatable. So we want real friends. We want real nice association where you get food for the soul, you get everything answered, discussing nice topic, you get whatever questions, doubts you have is reasonably solved. When I joined, I had thousands of questions. I didn't join and say, okay, now I'm the guru. Right? I joined, I'm a student. I'm a new person. I get to study, I get to practice, I get so many questions, I have to get the answers. Someone can answer it. If I'm not satisfied with that answer, I'll go to somebody else. And if they can't satisfy me, then I'll go to the scriptures. And if that can't satisfy me, then we're going to pray to Krishna. Krishna, how do I understand this? I need some kind of association of persons who can explain this to me in such a way that I'll understand it and accept it. And it doesn't even have to be some huge, long explanation. It just has to make sense. It has to be logical, of course, but it has to be convincing to your soul. So if it's coming from Krishna, only Krishna can convince your soul. No one can convince you. Can anyone convince you? Maybe Krishna, right? So how you're seeing, it's like, who should I serve? Krishna or the Guru? Who should I pray to? Krishna or the Guru? Right? Why you're seeing separate? By mercy of Krishna, one gets bona fide guru. By mercy of bona fide guru, and then you can understand Krishna. Combined mercy, both mercy required, 2 mercies required. You have to do both, right? Not either or, simultaneously. Does that help you? Yes, sir.
Gautam Buddha didn't had a guru.
Hmm?
Gautam Buddha.
Buddha didn't have a guru.
Who?
Buddha.
Buddha? Are you a Buddhist?
No, it's just a question.
He's pointing out the...
Yeah, but if you don't want to pick a guru, right?
No,
Then you, no, I'm saying like if you don't want to have to pick a guru, then just say that you're like a Buddhist. And then if anyone says like, how you don't have a guru, then I say, my guru didn't have a guru. My Lord and Master didn't have a guru. I'm following in his footsteps. That would be a clever way to avoid having to accept a guru, right? If it's true that Buddha doesn't have a guru.
what about Mahavir Jain?
But what if Buddha, isn't Buddha incarnation of Krishna?
I don't know.
Right? It is. Yeah. It says in Srimad Bhagavatam that Buddha is incarnation of Krishna. And he came to teach specifically how to stop killing animals, using the Vedas as an excuse to kill animals to satisfy your tongue. So Krishna, just to stop that nonsense, incarnated as Buddha, and he established his ahimsa, right? Ahimsa means a non-violence. So it's a manifestation, incarnation of Krishna. So in that sense, it's God himself manifesting. Sometimes God may accept the guru. Sometimes he says, I'm the guru. Right? But Krishna accepts a guru. Right? Mahaprabhu, he accepts a guru. All of Krishna's devotees, they all accept the guru to teach us. And even in the spiritual world, there are people who are more intimate with Krishna, who have more authority to say who can do what, and what service, and which place, and which way. So we're eternal servant, eternal disciple. So we better get used to being eternal servant, eternal disciple. It's not like you go to the spiritual world, it's just like me and Krishna. Right? You're basically going to be joining a family that's well established there. We're like adopted children. Right? Somehow they're letting us into their family. We don't really belong there. But they're very kind and loving, and they know the mood of the Lord, para dukkha dukkhi. So they're welcoming us and giving us opportunity to do loving service to Krishna, Krishna's devotees. If you love somebody, you don't think, oh, this person is my guru, I have to be like a servant, disciple. Right? Like your father or some important person in your life, right? It's like your father. It's based on love and affection. Usually. Unless the guy is a little crazy. But generally, should be based on some love and affection. Even the father's abusing you, he's not a good quality, not behaving properly, still, you have love and affection for him. You feel some pity, some appreciation, some love and affection. You wish them well. You understand they have some problems, some flaw, some difficulty, but still you have love and affection naturally. So if that's true for persons who are not even so qualified, what to speak of if we actually have qualified mentors, gurus, teachers, persons who are helping us, who can help us. So we have to say, okay, can this person help me? I met many people, they said, oh, you should talk to this Maharaj or this devotee or this person. He's very smart, very knowledgeable, very qualified, pure devotee. Once I became like more and more interested, let me go see. Let me see if I can be benefited from this person. Who knows? God can work. God can work through anybody. Can I read one verse? I'll give you a nice, what I was reading before I came out here. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is meeting with Ramananda Roy when they were taking bath. And they embraced each other in the spiritual ecstasy. They were both looking for each other. And somehow or other, Krishna made some arrangement for them to come together. And then they started hugging each other. And because it's a spiritual affair of the soul, of the heart, then they became ecstatic because they could finally meet. And Ramananda Roy he said that his realization was, you are definitely Bhagavan, you are Narayana himself, and he said, I'm only a government servant. He was like a governor in India, right? I think it was in the south. What was it?
Yes.
In the South India, he was the like big governor there. So when Mahaprabhu, actually this is very interesting. You want to hear that?
Yes.
It's very, very attractive, very nice. And this is what happens when you meet the Lord, the Lord's devotees. You feel like, okay, this is the family I never had. These are the souls ultimately that you're meant to be, find a shelter, protection with them. And that's you cannot make that up. You cannot manufacture that by some external manipulation. You cannot regulate people's faith or their spiritual experience, the intelligence and faith that they get from Krishna. So Mahaprabhu, when he was traveling, wherever he was traveling, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whoever he met on the road, then he would embrace them and shower mercy on them. And they were all immediately converted to Vaishnavism. Wherever he met them on the road. Then after some days, the Lord, he reached the banks of the river Godavari, right? Godavari. What is that place? Yeah. So, when the Lord saw this holy river, Godavari, he immediately remembered the river Jamuna. And when he saw the forest on the banks of that river, then he also immediately remembered Sri Vrindavan Dham. That's what he was remembering and seeing. Then after the Lord performed his usual chanting and dancing, for some time in this forest. The Lord crossed the river and then he took his bath on the other side of the river, on the other bank. Then after bathing in the river, the Lord walked a little distance from the bathing place and he was just chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And at that time, accompanied by some sounds of music, there's like some big procession, musical procession. Ramananda Roy, he came there and they were carrying him on palanquin. So because he is the governor, so he has whole entourage, has musical people playing instruments, right? And he's just sitting up on the palanquin and they're taking him to go to the river to take his bath. Then many brahmanas, they were also following the Vedic principles. They also accompanied Ramananda Roy. So all the brahmanas, they're chanting Vedic hymns. While they're moving, they're just chanting. And according to all the Vedic rituals, Ramananda Roy took his bath. Then he offered his oblations to his forefathers. Then Mahaprabhu was just sitting there watching all of this. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could understand that that person who had come to bathe in that river, that was Ramananda Roy. And the Lord, he had this desire and he so much wanted to meet with him. So he took it as special mercy that he could finally meet him. And even before he embraced him, his mind was immediately, it says, running after him. As soon as he understood, oh, this is that person, then his mind was already going towards him. And although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was running after him mentally, he was just patiently, he remained sitting there. And then Ramananda Roy, he looked over and he saw that there was this wonderful sannyasi sitting there. And then he approached him. And Sri Ramananda Roy, he saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was as brilliant as 100 suns. So he doesn't know who is this personality. Then he goes to see this wonderful sannyasi, and he's like 100 suns effulgent. And then the Lord was covered by saffron garments. He was large in his body and very strongly built, and his eyes were like lotus petals. When Ramananda Roy saw this wonderful sannyasi, he was struck with wonder, and he went to him and immediately he offered his respectful obeisances, dandavat pranams, to the Lord. Then the Lord stood up and asked Ramananda Roy to arise from his paying obeisances and said, let's just chant holy name of Krishna together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then when they started to chant together, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very eager and wanted to embrace him. So he wanted to hug him, Ramananda Roy. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then inquired whether he was Ramananda Roy. Are you that Ramananda Roy? And Ramananda Roy replied, and he said, yes, I am that very low servant, and I belong to the Shudra community. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after hearing that, he immediately embraced Sri Ramananda Roy very firmly. And then both the master and the servant they almost lost consciousness due to ecstatic love and affection for each other. This is not a materialistic meeting. Their natural love for each other was awakened in them both at the same time. And they embraced each other, and in ecstasy, spiritual ecstasy, even they fell to the ground. Can you imagine all these people watching this situation? Like, what's going on here? Isn't it? Can you imagine you're a palanquin driver for the governor and all of a sudden he's hugging the sannyasi and falling on the ground? It's like not a normal governor, you know? And the purport, Prabhupada said that Sri Ramananda Roy was an incarnation of the Gopi Vishaka. And since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Lord Krishna himself, there was naturally an immediate awakening of love and affection between Vishaka and Krishna. That's his eternal, intimate associate. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is combination of Srimati Radharani and Krishna. And the Gopi, Vishaka, is the principal, is a principal Gopi assisting Srimati Radharani. And thus this natural love between Ramananda Roy and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this automatically awakened as they embraced each other. Your friends aren't talking about this, are they? No, probably not. Your new friends are. So when they embraced each other, they had all type of spiritual ecstatic symptoms. I won't go too far into all of that because maybe that's the next conversation. But they were ecstatic, spiritually ecstatic. And only Krishna was just falling automatically, faltering in ecstasy out of their mouth. When the stereotyped, ritualistic brahmanas who were following the Vedic principles, when they saw this ecstatic manifestation of love between the Lord and his devotee, they were completely bewildered. They were struck with wonder. That's what I was saying. They're saying, what is going on here? What's happening here? And then all of these brahmanas, they started to try to understand what's happening there. That's what brahmanas do, right? Real brahmanas. And then the brahmanas, they thought, we can see that this sannyasi, he has a luster like effulgence of Brahman. But how is it that he's crying upon embracing a Shudra? So this was a mind-boggling. How can such a sannyasi, so effulgent sannyasi, how he's crying in ecstasy, hugging a Shudra who is a member of the fourth caste in the social order. I'm reminded that in Paris they asked Srila Prabhupada, out of all the castes, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, which class are you? And Srila Prabhupada said, I'm a fifth class. And they said, how? Fifth class? He said, yes, I'm the servant of all the other classes. That's Vaishnava. So they, because they were very bodily platform, Brahmana, ritualistic, following rules, regulations, stereotypical, they're like, not understand. According to their estimation, they cannot understand how a sannyasi that has that kind of effulgence is embracing a Shudra who's supposed to be, who's from the 4th caste in the social order. And those Brahmanas were thinking, this Ramananda Roy is the governor of Madras. He's a highly learned and very serious person, Mahapandit. But he also, upon touching this sannyasi, he has become completely restless, like a madman. So this whole scene is like blowing these Brahmanas' brains out, because they cannot possibly understand, like, what is happening here? Because they understand Ramananda Roy is the governor of Madras. He's a serious person. He's in charge of the whole place. They're carrying him on a palanquin. The Brahmanas are chanting Vedic hymns. He's not just some whimsical, sentimental personality going to get off the palanquin and hug this person that no one knows who it is and go into ecstasy and fall on the ground and spiritual, like a madman. So just imagine what was their wonder or bewilderment, however you can say it. Then while all the Brahmanas, they were thinking in this way about the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Roy, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw out of the corner of his eyes that those Brahmanas were watching and speculating. And he knows they don't understand what's happening here. So he checked, he restrained his emotion, because it wasn't meant to be shown in front of this type of non-devotees. If they're really Shuddha Bhakta, they'll understand. But they're ritualistic Brahmanas, stereotypical Brahmanas, so they could not understand. In the purport, Prabhupada said, Ramananda Roy, he was intimately related to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore he can be accepted as a sajatya, a person, is that right? Sajitya? A person who's in the intimate personal circle of the Lord. So intimate, eternal associate of the Lord. But the Brahmanas, they were just followers of Vedic rituals, and they were not able to have such an intimate spiritual connection with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In other words, they were not pure devotees. They were not Shuddha Bhakta. One may be a very highly learned Brahmana, but if he is not a pure devotee, he is a Vijatya. Vijatya means an outcast, high Brahmin, Vedic scholar, follower of Vedic rituals. Because he's not a pure devotee, he's an outcast. In other places, Prabhupada says non-devotee. Because he's outside of pure devotional service. In other words, Prabhupada says, in other words, a non-devotee. So what devotee? Means a Shuddha Bhakta, Premi Bhakta, right? That's what hopefully we're aspiring for, to become real devotee, real Bhakta, Shuddha Bhakta. And although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Roy, they were embracing in ecstasy the Lord, because he know they don't have faith, he restrained himself, he checked it. He checked his transcendental emotions upon seeing the outsider Brahmanas, because they could not understand it. They'll just try to measure according to their own so-called intelligence, and sense perception and what they think they're seeing, and that's why they're trying to understand it. But how are you going to understand it? It's a transcendental, eternal relationship and emotion between long-standing associates. But externally, you're just seeing these bodies. Oh, this is some sannyasi. Oh, this is the governor of Madras. So it's all just external, material, three-dimensional, non-devotee platform. Therefore, they could not understand that. When they regained their sanity, so their ecstasy was insanity, I guess, right? They regained their sanity. They sat down, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was smiling, and he began to speak to Ramananda Roy, and he said, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he spoke so much of your good qualities, and he made a great point, a great endeavor to convince me that somehow or other that I should meet with you. And indeed, I have come here just to meet you. And it is very good that without even making any effort, I've gotten your interview or your darshan here. I've come just to meet you, and it's very good that even without making an effort, so Krishna makes this arrangement. We're trying to make this arrangement, right? Who's the guru, right? But if we depend on Krishna, it's just automatic. Sometimes the guru will come to you, sometimes you'll go to the guru, but when you meet, Krishna will give you intelligence and faith within the heart that this is the person he selected to help us in our spiritual life. Without any extra endeavor. Otherwise, we're jumping on the Sadhu Express bus. I'm going temple to temple. I'm looking for a guru. I'm looking for a sadhu. You know, you can put like on an ad, like Facebook, you know, looking for a guru. I'm sure you'll have a lot of people getting back to you on that one. Like me, like me, like me. Do you like me? So Ramananda Roy, he replied, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he thinks of me as his servant. So he like disciple of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And even though I'm separated from him, he is still very careful to always do good by me. So such a guru, spiritual master, my Gurudev used to say, the guru always has his eye on you. If you're faithful and you're following instruction, then he'll always protect you, he'll always keep his eye on you, he'll always make sure that in that absence, that he'll be very kind to you, he'll do good by you. That is the relationship. So I was just thinking that today's quote of the day, you saw that, is very much on this point, right? Srila Gaur Govinda Swami, he was saying, this was in February 9, 1993. February 93, you know where I was. I don't have to go through that all over again. Otherwise, it looks like I'm doing self-promotion. I don't want the brahmanas and the ritualistic devotees to misunderstand me. So Gurudev said, just remember what the Guru has said to you and act accordingly. And then cry and cry. Then Krishna will make an arrangement. That separation is needed. Otherwise, how can you cry? So if we don't have relationship and you're separated, you don't know the person. So how are you going to cry? So this vapu, personal association, relationship is so important, because if Krishna makes that arrangement and it's an affair of the heart and soul, then when we don't have that association, then we feel like something missing, some mood of separation is there. And Gurudev says, in that mood of separation, that is needed. It says, what is it? Separation makes the heart grow fonder. That separation is needed, otherwise how can you cry? So this familiarity, when the relation becomes too familiar, familiarity breeds contempt. That saying is there. So if you just think that everything is fine, because, oh, I'm there, I'm with him, Gurudev will do everything, then finished. Do you understand? So sometimes we get this association and it's very, very dear and very important, because otherwise there's no relationship. Right? If we develop some type of relationship, some love and affection, some respect, some appreciation, we feel benefited by that association and those discussions and talks and instructions, then we feel like, wow, I was very much benefited by those talks. I saw that helped me a lot from where I was before. Now I feel like, okay, I'm moving in the right direction. I have someone, like Prabhupada said after he met Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, here is a person, I can understand that the Mahaprabhu Parampara is using this person. Now it's in a good hands, because I can understand this person is empowered and he's playing this role, taking that responsibility. So then you feel, okay, I have some shelter and protection. Then that vapu, personal association, is very important, because then there's some relationship is established. And then when you don't have that association, personal association, then what we have is, okay, what did he say? What was he teaching? What was he impressing upon us? What were the ideas and the focus of the discussions that we had? What are those things that we talked about? Now it's time to practice that. So sometimes even in university, you have the classes, professors are giving all the talk, and it's okay, now go out the practicum, now go out onto the street, go build some road, go into the, in some company, work in some computer center, right? So now go practice what you heard. So I saw, when I was staying in Bhubaneswar with my Gurudev, that I very much was relishing and feeling so much benefit by his association and hearing from him. And although I didn't have like a personal servant, I wasn't cooking for him, I wasn't, taking care of the room, I wasn't like inside of all of these important meetings with all of the leaders or administrators or temple president. So, but my association was, I'm going to go to the class whenever he's speaking, and I'm going to try to participate and cooperate, because he wants to say something, but he needs somebody who wants to hear something. Otherwise, it's a one-way street. You don't feel inspired to say anything. So if when you meet with some friends or some family, right, no one has to tell you like what you're supposed to talk about. It's just automatic. You just start talking about whatever you want to talk about, right? It doesn't even matter. You're just happy to be with the person, right? Happy to catch up, discuss, see them, talk to them, Talk about whatever you want. So that's why this personal association is so valuable. And if we feel benefited, and we can begin to understand how we're benefited, how Krishna sent the person to help us, answering our question, trying to destroy the doubt, trying to inspire us, trying to, even sometimes we need a kick, we need a slap, we need a push, right? They're not letting us be mental, they're not letting us be sentimental, they're not letting us to be lazy. They're challenging us, confronting us, pushing us, dragging us, pleading with us, begging us. Otherwise, who in this world is going to do that for you? You look at all the people we had in our life, even our family members, friends, right? It's like give and take. Nobody will do like that. Only Krishna, Krishna's devotees, really devotees, they're coming here to help us. They have no other business coming here, being here, staying here, except just for that thing, on behalf of the Lord. And we can't see Krishna, we can't hear Krishna, because we're still contaminated consciousness. But we can see the Guru. We can see Krishna's representative that Krishna sent to help us. We can hear him, we can see him, we can have relationship with him, we can serve him. So that way we're learning how to have spiritual relationship. We don't know what is spiritual relationship, we only know material relationship. So we have to develop this attraction, attachment, spiritual relationship. And then this is how we learn how to have relationship and service and love and affection for Krishna. So you can't just have none of that and just, okay, now you go back to Godhead and you're like perfect servant, you know how to have relationship, spiritual relationship, and you automatically just get love and affection for Krishna when you get to Vaikuntha. You think that's something you just pick up at the border? Right? You go to the border, okay, you're going to need this. You know, here's how to cut up the vegetables and, you know, make a garland. And, oh, here's some prema, you're going to need this. You think that's going to happen, like, on the border? Right? That's all supposed to be learned here. That's all supposed to be practiced here. And their spiritual relationship with our spiritual master and devotees, this is a practice. If we can't have any kind of spiritual relationship based on spiritual love and affection and appreciation and gratefulness and helping each other and supporting each other, where are we going to learn that? You try to talk to your friends and be like, what's wrong with you? When did you go crazy? When did you go soft? Right? They take it as some kind of a sentimental, materialistic. Huh? Imagination. Yeah. They just think of it just like the Brahmanas. They're just trying to measure it and understand it from a purely materialistic platform. So you can just get a sense of this relationship with Krishna and his devotees. And this is also amongst when you meet, you know, everyone wants soulmate, right? Ivan's looking for a soulmate. Right? Everyone's looking for a soulmate, a match made in heaven. Right? So we're using the word soul and we're saying heaven, but all we're interested in is the body and hell. So instead of soul, heaven, it's body and hell. But if you just label it as soul and heaven, then that will get you through the honeymoon period. Maybe. Maybe. I'm so negative, aren't I? Am I too pessimistic? Should we continue reading like a few more minutes? No problem? You don't have an appointment or anything? Sure? Sure, Multi-level Maya? Multi-level marketing? Right, he's meeting a bunch of strangers, right? A bunch of demoniac, materialistic people, and he's like, here's my heart, here's my soul, here's all of my deepest thoughts and feelings and emotions, right? To a bunch of strangers. And then he comes back to the devotees like, I don't know these people. I got to be careful with these people. He has it backwards. Is it? Everyone needs friends. I'm going out to find some friends. We're meeting at the coffee shop and we're going to just talk about being friends. And we're going to make a lot of money in the process. And then I embraced him. And he said, are you sure you can make me a lot of money? And I embraced him back and I said, I sure hope so. I hope so. Boy, I hope so. Boy, I hope so. Heard that before? That's multi-level Maya. They let like 1 or 2 people like make some money, right? And then they do like a whole propaganda, like everybody's making money, right? It's like a couple, like a friend of the owner and some poor lady with 8 kids, you know, she made $10,000 this month, you know, sitting at home, making balabas. No effort required, just by signing up your soul to this multi-level speculation, I mean Maya. I'm sorry, how do we get from the bank of the Godavari to a coffee shop in Moscow? Or wherever you are, I don't know where you are. I don't know where you're going. So when Mahaprabhu told Ramananda Roy that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was his like guru, said, somehow or other, you have to meet this Ramananda Roy. And then when Ramananda Roy met Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu told him, then he said, oh, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, my guru, made such an amazing arrangement for me. Although I'm separated from him, right? Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is in Puri, he's down in southern India, right? But still he's sending Mahaprabhu there to give him personal association. And he understood this is my Guru's mercy, that he's giving me this type of an opportunity. Even though we're separated, he's still making this a wonderful arrangement for me. And that's how he understood it. Even in my absence, he's very careful, he's very thoughtful how to do good by me. He's still helping me, even in his absence. And then he said, by his mercy, by my Guru's mercy, by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's mercy, I have received your interview, or your darshan here, meeting you. And therefore, consequently, I consider that today, by meeting you and having your darshan, I can honestly say I have become a successful human being. Just by that meeting. That's how he realized it. He realized the auspiciousness of the Lord's arrangement to meet Mahaprabhu. And I can see that you have bestowed special mercy upon Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Because he could understand by Mahaprabhu's qualities, by his personality, that how he must have met with and discussed with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya saying, please look for my Ramananda Roy, then you must have also blessed him as well. I can understand. Otherwise, how he's telling like this? And therefore, you have touched me. You have hugged me. You have embraced me, although I am considered untouchable person. And this can only be due to his love for you, that he recommended that we should meet. Isn't this a very sweet pastime? Everybody looking for love and affection, right? We're just looking in the wrong place. Right? There's a famous song, looking for love in all the wrong places. You heard that song? It's a country song. Maybe you don't know country music? Now they made that song from country music into this techno. How would that translate though? Looking for love in all the wrong places in techno. Anyway, I can't even try to imitate what that may sound like. Maybe later we can try. And if anyone hears that, they'll think, oh, he's just in some kind of ecstasy. He's just speaking like some tongues or something, you know, some kind of... He's speaking in tongues. And then he said, I can understand by your mercy that you are Bhagavan. You are Narayana himself. And I am only a government servant interested in and engaged in materialistic activities. So government servant, materialistic activities. And really I consider myself the lowest among men because I'm from the fourth caste. I'm a Shudra. So he understood what is Mahaprabhu's position, then he understood what is my position. And of course he's also doing out of a spiritual humility. And Prabhupada will talk about that. And then Ramananda Roy told Mahaprabhu, you do not fear, you're not fearing Vedic injunctions which forbid that you should associate with the Shudra, what to speak of embracing him. So you're not fearing that you're breaking some kind of Vedic etiquette or Vedic injunctions or some type of rules or regulations. You don't even care for it. You're not fearing any reaction, any karmic reaction. And when you hug me, I could see you're not doing it like contemptuously, like, you know, with some kind of like reserve. You're not like, okay, give me a hug, and you're like, right? Like he's untouchable, but okay, let's hug each other. Not like that. This means like really like from the heart, right? Not even thinking about any other thing. Like this kind of an embrace, like automatically embracing. And although it says in the Vedas, you're forbidden to associate with such Shudras like myself, but still, you don't care for all of that. You're just naturally, automatically, you're doing it. You're not even considering all of these other things. And then Srila Prabhupada says in the purport in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, 932, O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, my devotees, those who take shelter of me, even though they be of a lower birth, a woman, Vaishya, Shudra, by mercy they can still attain to the supreme destination. Women hate this verse. Right? Okay, then you're not a woman, you're a, how about Shudra? Does that make you feel better? Right? Okay, don't forget about the word woman. Just go with Shudra. Then okay, I'm a Shudra. Okay. Look, everyone kalau Shudra Sambhava. Everybody here Shudra or less. Now all of a sudden the women are like offended. They're going to sign a petition. They're going to sign a petition and send it to Krishna. Right? They think they have so much power that if they get enough signatures, Krishna will come again and change the Bhagavad Gita. They really believe that. If they complain enough and they get enough signatures, Krishna will be forced to come again and re-establish the new and improved religious principles. And who knows, maybe he'll give you sannyasa as well. I don't know. Maybe he's in a good mood. Maybe. I can't promise you anything. So anyway, special mercy from Krishna, mercy of Vaishnavas, mercy of Shastra. Anybody, if you get special mercy, anybody can become really nice devotee, real pure devotee of Krishna. There's no materialistic, external obstacle or impediment or type of contamination. If Krishna wants to shower mercy on you, no matter what you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what is your background, no matter whether you're qualified or not qualified, rich or poor, educated, not educated, Shudra or less, if we can somehow rather cry out, understanding what is our position and condition, and somehow convince Krishna and Krishna's devotees, please be merciful and kind to me, otherwise I can do nothing, then they automatically are kind, automatically they want to help us. So even the lowest of the low, with the special mercy, they can become something, somebody. Krishna wants, Guru wants, Vaishnava wants, who can stop it? I think in this last point in this purport, a low life means a life without Krishna consciousness. So anyone who has a life without Krishna consciousness, that's a low life. That's a low life. Right? Okay, you don't want to be a woman, you don't want to be Shudra, how about low life? Does that make you feel better? If we're not Krishna conscious, you're not a woman, you're not a Shudra, you're a low life. You don't like that one either? Let's find another let's find another one for you. Okay, low life, life without Krishna consciousness. The Vaishyas and the Shudras, those who are Tamagun, Rajagun, do not clearly understand what is God consciousness. Because there's too much Tamagun, Rajagun, some clouds are there. You can't see the sun. You can feel some rays, some heat maybe, but you can't exactly see the sun. So some blockage is there, right? Some contamination is there. But if they take to Krishna consciousness and they get the mercy of Krishna and the mercy of a bona fide spiritual master, they will not remain a low life. They will not remain in the lower castes. They're not condemned to stay in that position if we get the mercy of Krishna, mercy of Guru. And unless one gets that mercy, unless one attains, Prabhupada says, the highest standard of life, one cannot return home back to Godhead. Right? These guys are running around, someone left their body, you know, get a photo shoot, devotee care. Right? Then next they'll be wearing like t-shirts, like self-promotion, devotee care. Huh? .com, devoteecare.com, specializing in bodies, souls leaving bodies, you know. And then just if you die, that's good enough. It's good enough for you, according to our organization. This is what we can do for you. Okay, just pay monthly now while you're alive, right? Pay something there, multi-level Maya. Hey, this is another one we'll do. We'll get everybody, right? And then when you're dying, everyone will put the t-shirts on, run to your house, right? Do a photo shoot right in the newspapers. This guy went back to Godhead. Right? And we'll have brahmanas, we'll do Vedic hymns, we'll have kettle drums, we'll have flowers. Right? We'll get some Hanuman monkeys to come. We can do everything. You just start paying now. Just $99.99. Under $100 every month until you die. And then we have to make you live longer, so we'll give you some fake vaccine cards, so you don't have to take the shots. Because if you leave early, I don't know how many t-shirts we can give away. We may have to do, you know, without the kettle drums and the mantras, you know. This is sacrilegious, man. I'm breaking every possible rule in the book, talking like this. And whoever dies, they went back to Godhead. He's talking with Prabhupada now. He's riding in Prabhupada's car now. I just got a call. Just got a call. Unless one has a... This is horrible. How am I speaking like this? This is outrageous. We have new people here. The Gundas turned into devotees. The politician is smiling now. If a person, even if they're born in a low-born family, if one is engaged sincerely and seriously in the Lord's service, he should never be considered to belong to a low-born family. Right? So if somehow you get mercy of Guru Krishna and you become nice devotee, you shouldn't look back, well, what was he before? Right? Because it's really a meaningless, and it's just a way to try to drag them down to some other kind of platform. But if they got mercy from Guru Krishna, and they got purified, and they were able to rise or raise above their previous life or their previous modes of material nature, it's actually considered to be offensive to consider their past or their past life. Because you're not taking into consideration in that calculation the mercy that perhaps we could get from Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Alright? How are you doing? Are you married yet? Did you get married? What happened? I thought you were going to get married. Did she dump you already?
It's cancelled.
Huh?
He says cancelled.
It got cancelled? Why are you happy about that? He's like, it got cancelled, man. That doesn't sound like a match made in heaven, man. This guy looks more happy that it got canceled. Usually everyone would be crying, like, oh, it almost worked. And then she rejected me. Then her parents found out I have no money. That's the beauty of Krishna keeping you poor. Right? Then you can avoid all of these useless marriages. And then if you're supposed to be married, Krishna will send you the right one. Right? He'll send you a devotee. You're supposed to be married, but you need a devotee. You don't need some materialistic witch, you know? You don't need a witch. You don't need a putana. For some time, they look like some damsels from the heavenly planets, right? And then after about 6 hours, I mean, that's bad, 6 hours. That's horrible. That is so negative, man. That's so pessimistic. 6 hours. All right, 6 days. 6 days, come on. All right, 6 months. All right, I give it 6 months. Then after 6 months, right, we'll be like, we fell out of love. We fell out of love. Let's have, we don't bet. I was going to say, let's take a bet. Let's see how long Ivan, his new marriage, right, which was made in heaven, they found their soulmates, the lady paid off some astrologer to give a nice chart. Right? I mean, if you read that astrologer's chart and then you know Ivan, you'd be like, who's this about? You know? You'd be like, come on, man, this is a joke, you know? This is like a perfect gentleman, you know, sane, rich, capable, stable. Is your son here? Oh, good. That's Krishna's arrangement. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably say that in front of your son. Right? So let's see how long let's see, okay, what we'll do is we'll make categories, right? 6 hours, 6 days, 6 months. I think that's probably about it. All right, let's see how many days before she starts beating up Ivan. Let's find out. Because he attracts women that like to beat him. Like, this is what he does. You know what I mean? That's his karma. They all start off like, I love you. And then he's acting like this, like a, you know, real pucker guy, right? Wait till she wakes up the day after that marriage and he comes out looking like the mad professor, right? And then he's going to show like the business card from the astrologer friend that gave her that chart, right? She went to the astrologer, it's his friend. The guy's a genius, he's a genius. He's as stable can be. His feet are literally like cement blocks. He doesn't wear shoes. He is so down to earth, he has cement shoes. He will never run away from home. And if he does, you'll be able to catch him anywhere. And then you can beat him. I think it sounds good. No? You're not a believer? What are we talking about? How do we go from such a beautiful spiritual embracing to, you know, two people hitting each other over the head, calling the Bengali police to come and break it up, right? And the same cop is taking money from both sides. Let me go talk to him. Let me see what his problem is. You know? So, well, we're just going to have to go to court, you know? But you know, within 6 years, this should be settled, right? 6 years. Give it 6 years, and then the lawyer will work for both sides. We've already gone through this. You know what I mean? I'm talking from experience. I'm like, why is this case like going on so long? It's complications, you know. We just need 15,000 more rupees. You know? And then he's going to the other side doing the same thing, you know. And then we're driving by, saying, "Hey, why is our lawyer riding in the car with the guy we're in the court against? Why does he have a chamber fan, you know?" He must have more money than we do. Anyway, this has gone completely off of the rails. But I don't even know what else to say. I think we have literally covered everything tonight. I don't think there's anything left to discuss. Don't you agree? We'll discuss, don't worry. All right, so you all right? You're good? You're smiling? That's a good sign. Are you conscious? Yeah, you? Are you conscious? Where are you at right now? Arissa? Are you in Arissa? Where's your brain at? Here? That's all you're bringing here? You're better off saying, well, most of it's somewhere else, you know what I mean? Because if that's all that's here, man, we're in trouble. We're going to need some special mercy from the Lord and the Lord's devotees. So everyone, thank you very much. I appreciate your time, your patience, your good humor. Because some of these classes lately have been, I could have given another class on demoniac qualities, but I didn't want to shock the new guests too soon. Tomorrow we'll talk about it. We'll go back to our normal demoniac qualities class. We'll pick up where we left off. We had some new people, so we had to say some positive thing about Ivan's marriage. It's going to be perfect. Don't worry. I hope you have life insurance. Do you have life insurance? Maybe you can get a helmet. Right? If you see him walking around with a helmet on, when he's not on the motorcycle, you'll understand everything. Everything is normal back home. Everything. He was praying, right? Weren't you praying to understand? Don't think I'm just making this up. You ask him. He was praying. He wants to see what is my impression. Then Krishna made his son not to be here, right? And then we just told him, everyone had a good laugh about it, right? So that the medicine is like a bitter medicine. So he got the bitter medicine because it required it. Just like we said to this boy, right? Mommy, Daddy.
Yes.
Like a bumblebee. I thought there was a bumblebee in my ear, man. I'm like, who's squeaking in my ear? The guy's talking, you're like squeaking. I never saw a guy 6'2" squeaking. So then I told him, I said, as soon as you decide you want to surrender and serve in Guru Krishna's family, your voice is going to change. I'll know the next day you'll be like, Maharaj, thank you. Thank you so much for preaching to me like that. And just by his voice, I'll understand that now he wants to serve Guru Krishna's family and not the Maya's family. I can't even imitate that voice. I'm still trying to understand mommy and daddy. Is that a cultural thing? Huh? Is that a cultural thing? I can't imagine. You're like a rock and roll, like AC/DC, Judas Priest, Metallica kind of guy. I can't see him saying mommy and daddy. Would you do that in front of Metallica? That would be my only question. Would you be caught dead with your mommy and daddy t-shirt on at the Metallica concert? That says everything, man. Says everything. Dave, are you gonna be all right? Dave is ready to leave his body. What happened? Oh my God. This is horrible. We're supposed to talk philosophy, Now the next thing is, okay, how do you make what we just talked about, how do you understand it philosophically? You pray to Krishna, he'll tell you. Oh, Krishna. Deva, are you alright? Don't leave your body, man. Alright, everyone, thank you very much for your kind attention. I absolutely did not expect that this was going to go like this. Please excuse me if I made any mistakes. And I hope I see you again. We'll talk about demoniac qualities tomorrow. Try to leave yours at home before you come. Just hang it on the hook at the home. Right? And then we'll talk about the bad qualities that are hanging on the hook at your house. Instead of, don't wear it here. Don't wear it to the class. Leave it over in the dark place. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Shishi Gonitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Govinda Swami, Srila Gurudev, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki, Glory Pramananda,
Shri Gurudev ki.
We have to continue our talks at Ramananda Roy. All right, everybody. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Hari-katha.
Me too.
All right. You all right? Yeah. We'll get you a psychologist if you need one. He already has like 3 of them, He has to go to, first he comes to my class, then after the class, then he has like 3 different psychologists he goes to. And he tries to tell them like what happened here. And then they put him back like crazy, then he can handle that.
Shri Gurudev ki.